A preset is what defines how your lightsaber looks and sounds, and that's really all there is to it. It is a collection of sound and light effects. UltraProffie comes with up to 25 pre-installed presets which you can choose from using the onboard preset control. But what I want to show you now is how to create such presets. And for that, we're going to use the launcher. I already removed the SD card and connected it to the computer, so I can connect directly with the SD card. Click connect. Point the launcher to the OSX folder on the SD card. Select allow editing of those files, and now we are connected to the board. Those are the pre-installed presets which I can choose from. This is the selection list. And if I click presets library, I will find the definition of all those presets. And I will start by removing all of them because what I want is to create presets from scratch. So, add preset, and those are the fields that I need to fill in order to define a new preset. ID is just a number, it is handled automatically, don't worry about it, nothing you have to do about it. Name is every name you want to put to this preset. Let's call it my new preset. A font is a collection of sounds, and each preset absolutely must have a font assigned to it, otherwise your saber will be mute, it will play no sound at all. There are some fonts already installed on the SD card, or you can add new fonts. I'll show you how to do this. For now, let's just choose one of the available fonts. Let's choose this one, Alita. A track is a sound that plays in the background. But unlike fonts, tracks are not mandatory. You can choose for each preset whether or not you want to assign a track to it. And you'll find some tracks pre-installed and ready to use, or you can add new tracks to the board, and I'll show you later how to do this. For now, let's just use one of the available tracks. So let's choose this one, Climax. And then the styles. I can assign up to 6 styles to a preset. Styles are what define the light effects for a single blade. Each blade must have a style assigned to it. In this installation, since I have 2 blades, a pixel one and an analog one, I will have to be able to assign a style to each of those 2 blades. Unlike fonts and tracks, which are stored on the SD card, styles are built-in, so the only way to change the list of available styles is to reprogram the board with new styles. And that's a topic for another video. For now, we're just gonna use the styles available on the board, which I can find in this drop-down list. Some of the styles are marked with A, some of the styles are marked with P. Styles with A are compatible with analog blades, styles with P are compatible with pixel blades, or I can have styles compatible with both, like this omnicolor, which can drive either analog and pixel blades. They're different because analog blades use a single LED mounted in hilt, and pixel blades use multiple LEDs along the blade. Most pixel styles use localized effects which will not show correctly on an analog blade. And for this reason, styles are marked distinctly with compatibility for analog or pixel blades. I could assign, looking at the install configuration, an appropriate style for each blade, but there's more flexibility to it. The assignment is actually automatic and follows a single rule. For each blade, use the first available and compatible style. So let's say I will assign a style. I'll put this morph style, which is an analog style. And then, since I know I also have a pixel blade, I will also add a pixel style. Let's say Ultra Saber. This is a solid style. Now how this will work? When the board boots, it will take each blade and try to assign a style to it. The first one is a pixel blade. The rule is Find the first available and compatible style. Morph is available but is not compatible, so it will not be assigned to this pixel blade. The second one, Ultra Saber, is available and compatible, so this one will go here. Short blade will get Ultra Saber style. Second is the analog red, green, blue blade, and it will follow the same process. First style, morph, it's available and it's compatible, so this one will get assigned here. You don't need to follow the specific order of blades in the install configuration, you just need to make sure that in this list, somewhere, anywhere, you have at least one style compatible with this blade. We've got a new preset, let's try it. Save, disconnect, and now I'll put the card back into the board. Cards go back, battery goes in, boot sound, hilt, let's see what happens. First, let's listen to the track. A long press of the button will toggle track. I stop the track and I can see a solid style on the pixel blade. This is the Ultra Saber style. And I see some color changing on the analog blade. This is the morphing analog style. Since only one preset is now installed on the board, I will not have the preset control available. Double click will do nothing. So that was just one click which turns off the board, but double click will not trigger the preset control because we have only one preset. Now let's make another preset, and this time we will add our own font. We will not use one of the pre-installed fonts, we will add a new font to the SD card. Card goes out, connect it to the computer, and now before connecting it to the launcher, I will add a new font to the SD card. This is my SD card, this is the configuration folder, and all those folders store fonts. You'll recognize the names. Each font is a folder on the root of the SD card. Tracks are stored in a special folder which is called, surprisingly, tracks. So to add a new font, I'll have to add a new folder on the SD card. I'm gonna do this. This is my new font, RoboFont. Copy it to the SD card. Now it's here, and let's connect with the launcher. And then, surprise, I will not find the new font on the SD card. There's nothing named a RoboFont in this list. The reason fonts do not immediately appear as available for presets is because not all folders copied on the SD card are actually fonts. For instance, I can do something like this. Disconnect, go back to the SD card, and just create a random folder, not a font. I just added a new folder. This will not be a font, so should not be used in presets. When the board boots, it will first check the content of the SD card and see which are the available fonts. Again, not all folders are fonts. Those fonts get registered, and only after this those can be used for presets. When I'm adding a new font on the SD card, the first thing I have to do is to let it run once on the board. So I'll remove the card, insert it in the board, let it boot once, then bring the SD card back. SD card out. SD card in. Boot once. Then remove the SD card and connect back to the computer. Connect again. OS/X folder. Select. Edit files. Let's see what happened. Now I have this new font, RoboFont, available for presets. Let's make a new preset with it. Add preset. Let's call it Robo. Let's assign this font to it. No track. And let's do something else about the styles. Instead of adding two styles, I will add just one. And I will add the omnicolor style, which is compatible with both analog and pixel blades. How the assignment will go now? First is the pixel blade. The first available compatible style is omnicolor, so omnicolor will go to pixel blade. Next is the analog blade, but there's no longer any compatible available style. Omnicolor is compatible, but it's already used. This is not a problem. If no style is available, it will start again from the list, like nothing else is used before. First compatible and available style is again omnicolor, so the same style will be assigned to the second blade. Basically, with this assignment, both blades will use the same style, omnicolor, which is compatible with both analog and pixel blades. Save, and let's see what's happening on the Saber. Card goes back, battery goes back, and it should boot. Then Hilt goes back. Let's see what we've got. That is the first preset that I already configured. Let's change it to the new preset. So that's the new preset with the Robo font. I can see both blades are running simultaneously the same style. So same style was assigned to both blades. I have another board here, which is an UltraProffie 0. It's similar to UltraProffie Lite, except it doesn't have an SD card. It has a single font internal memory. So for this board, the only way to change presets is using the USB connection. Let's power this board and connect to it via USB. Back to the launcher, need to reset the connection mode. Select USB this time, and then connect. Allow access to USB, connect again, and wait until we got the configuration data. With UltraProffie 0 having a single font internal memory, we're only gonna have one font. So it doesn't even make sense to specify fonts for preset. You can see which font is installed on the board, but you don't have to specify it. The board will use the only available font for all presets. The only way you can change the sound font for an UltraProffie 0 is using this sound font section here. You can choose any of the sound fonts which are pre-installed on UltraProffie Lite, you can put it on UltraProffie Zero as well, but only one will stay there. So let's say instead of Return of the Jedi, let's choose the Yoda font. Write default font and wait until it gets copied on the board. Done. Now I could reset the board so the new settings would apply. I can use the hard reset or the software reset button. And now all my presets, instead of the Look sound font, will have the Yoda sound font without me doing anything other than changing the only sound font of the board. Let's look at styles now. We have still two blades, a pixel blade and an analog blade, but now all presets have a single style assigned. What's going to happen in this situation is that the board will try to assign the first style in the style library that works. The secondary blade does not have any style assigned. There is no analog style except for the omnicolor, which we already saw works for both. For all the others, the board will assign by default the first available style in this list. So most likely, not most likely, certainly, the analog blade will get the preset simple style for all the presets except for the omnicolor. And to verify this, we're going to select omnicolor as the current preset. Let's see what's happening on the board now. Save, because I made some changes. UltraProffie Lite with the SD card goes out. Hardware reset on UltraProffie Zero. Let's see how it behaves. There is a slight pulsing on this LED. And for all other presets, the analog blade will look the same, but it will still work even if no analog style was assigned to any of the presets. It will use a default analog style. This is how you can control UltraProffie presets with style.